What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. And yesterday was not a good day for myself. I had the Mercury -6.5. They played pretty pathetic. I mean, it was their first game, getting some new pieces back, and they were absolutely out of rhythm. And then the effort, you just saw that decline rapidly. So that was a bad pick for myself. Got to get back on track here today. Vino, hopefully yesterday was better for you than I, but good to see you here today.
Glad to be here, Skee. Yes, sometimes you take a day off and it is better. Yesterday I had no play on the game. Did watch it though, and you say it was a nice rebound effort by Atlanta. I have to say, from the game before, that was the second of back-to-backs. They looked pretty good offensively, and there was a point in the game, Skee, you'll appreciate this, where the Phoenix head coach had to call timeout because Jordan Canada just took a straight line to the rim without anybody stopping her. And all I could think of was Becky Hammond screaming about layups, because Atlanta was shooting a lot of layups in that second half to start the second half. Made a lot of shots. Lisha Gray was really, really good in that game. So we'll see if Phoenix can respond. You check the minutes of that one and you see that they were cautious with Copper. They were cautious with Satu. Even Lexi Held returned. So big game with New York on deck. I'm sure we'll get to that one on tomorrow's card.
All right, well, let's get to today. We have 3 games, a little bit more to look at than yesterday, and let's see if we can find some winners. First up, Sparks and Sun opened up -5 for the Sparks. They're 6-point favorites now. Total open 166.5. It's as high as 170. Injury report here. And let's get this refreshed. We know Cameron Brink is out. Mabry looking like she could return today. She's actually listed as probable, so I'm expecting her out there. And then Marshall is the game time decision for Connecticut. These teams did play a little bit before the break there, Vino. And I'm pretty sure we got a Sun cover, and I think I was on that. And it was it was a battle between Bria Hartley and Rakia Jackson, especially, just getting after each other as far as talking to each other. They don't like each other. I'll tell you that much. Rakia, I don't know if I can say what she said on this show, but she said it directly to Bria. They went back and forth on social media, and I think both of them really want to have a good game here today. So my first initial thought is probably more Rakia points, just because Bria, you got Marina Mabry coming back into the lineup. She's going to take some more of those shots. But maybe even just go with the market towards the full game over. And outside of that, you know how I say, Sparks laying points, not for my money. So I'm curious how you view this game. You looking at that total or the side?
Yeah, I think you have to look at the total, Skee. Mabry coming back would be the only, and was the only sort of hesitancy I had before I played this game. So I played it a little lighter just because of that. But I played this full game total, or excuse me, the first half total over 82 points in this one. Just to let you know here, from the LA side, they played 6 straight now where their offense has scored 40 or more first half. Let me just backtrack a second here, Skee, because we talked yesterday about the Sparks, or the day before about the Sparks, and how, Kelsey Plum said eventually we'll get it. Then they said they were getting it. And then I saw Derica Hamby with this quote where she said everybody's buying into the system right now. We talked about it in the beginning of the year that everyone's going to eat. And to me, there's a lot of offensive stars in that starting lineup, and maybe it took a while for everybody to realize that, 4 of us can score 20 plus in the same night, and they're playing really well right now offensively. And I think, as we said the other day, their identity is known at this point in time. They're there to outscore you. High-scoring games, we can get more than you can. We don't play a lot of defense. You talked about the previous game between these two, the most recent one. It was 92-88, scored 180 points total. So I wouldn't object to full game total, and may get to that myself as well. This may be a situation where I play half and full game. But the first half total seemed to stick out to me because, like I say, LA's played 6 straight offensively where they've scored 40 plus in the first half. Connecticut has now allowed 40 or more in 11 of their last 13 first half. So they give it up just as easy. So you can imagine LA will get their points. Connecticut, for what it's worth, offensively, 41 or more points scored by that team in 3 of their last 4 first halves. They've been shooting it. And I think I had another one here for you real quick. It came from Sanaya Rivers, who said, our record doesn't matter because I think we're really finding our identity. Everybody's tapping into their individual roles and we're playing together. We're having fun doing this. We're giving all these teams a run for their money. Like, these teams aren't walking over us anymore. We're not losing by 20. We're not losing by 15 anymore. It's progress. It's a rebuild year. I have all the confidence in the world that we're going to turn things around and actually turn it into W's. And I think, as you watch Connecticut, it's kind of obvious they're finding ways to score now, which they couldn't do in the beginning. Well, let's say for 80% of the season prior to this most recent stretch. So in my mind, Skee, you have 2 teams that are getting it offensively, 2 teams that are lousy defensively. Like I say, I'm not going to argue anybody off a full game, but I thought they'd come out pretty quickly here in this one. So I played first half over 82.
I'm gonna give you some pushback here, Vino.
Yeah.
I think that it's a possibility that the Sun can come out slow after being off for a week. Like, start the game slow. Even like me personally, I could see this being a game like that Atlanta Dream game yesterday, where the first half was a little bit lower, and then the second half exploded. Like, it might take time for Sun to find that rhythm, and also we saw yesterday, right? I believe it was yesterday. Yeah, Phoenix. They had Satu and Kalia come back into the lineup. Kalia hadn't been playing for a while, and she was a little bit off. The rhythm was off for the team. We could see that with Marina Mabry coming back here tonight. So it could go either way. So for me, if I'm playing a total, I would include the full game. That's just my opinion. And at first, I said the Sun, but when I talk it out like that, I mean, that's a big piece to come back into the lineup for the Sun. And they could absolutely be a little bit off with all that time off. The Sparks, they look to be in rhythm. They've scored 90 plus their last 3 games. More I think about it, maybe this is the one time that the Sparks should be favored. Lacan saying, UCapper saying she's made a very big difference. I feel like everybody has been playing a little bit better, really, for both of these teams. So it's tough. I guess I lean over more than a side in this game right now. All right. I'm just curious. What is the team total? Let me look at that actually before we move on. If I'm having a little bit of, see, the Sparks is 88 or 87 and a half. I mean, they have had 90 plus. I'll think about it.
Real quick, Skee, just to show that in this business, it's an inexact science. The exact opposite of a starter coming back and the team not starting slow was Jonquel Jones the other night for the Liberty. She hadn't played in forever. She scores 18. At halftime, they have 88 points, and Caitlin Clark's not on the floor. So it is kind of guesswork on our end as bettors and handicappers all the time, but just to show it goes both ways. And you kind of do have to put a little guesswork into it.
Good point. Yeah, she was out there hitting threes. Well, she playing a guitar? Was that a banjo? I don't know what she was playing. She was enjoying herself. I'll tell you that out there. All right. I'm not a big instrument guy, as you can tell. But the next game, 629, 630, Aces and Fever. Open -1 for the Aces. I'm pretty sure I saw this one get as high as 4. Now I'm seeing it come back down as low as, I'm seeing mostly 2s. So I'll just leave it at that. As far as who's available, no Caitlin Clark, and then Cheyenne Parker-Tyus remains out for this Aces team. These teams played not that long ago, Vino. Let's get the actual date here. They played, maybe it was a little while ago, actually, now. They played on the 3rd of July. So, yeah, it's been a little while. But in that game, Aces really got embarrassed, right? 81-54, and I'm pretty sure that was without Caitlin Clark. So a little bit of chance for a double digit in season revenge for these Aces. For the Fever, um, once again without Caitlin Clark coming off of a pretty bad L versus the Liberty, but they have shown they can play well and compete without her. So this is tough. I mean, both team, the Fever right at 500, 12-12. The Aces been fighting to get over 500. They're sitting at 12-11. Very meaningful game for both of these teams. I'm curious which way you're looking at it here, Vino.
Yeah, generally, I'd be quick to pull the trigger on the over in this game, and the money has pushed it to 164 and a half. So I have no idea, other than gut feel, why I've kind of not why I don't have a ticket on this game yet, as far as over is concerned. A little bit leery of the price here. It's funny you pull out the 81-54 game, because that is the game where Becky Hammond went off about laps. I think that's a game Asia Wilson had 29 of the 54 points. Nobody played any defense for Las Vegas in that game. So they'll come ready to play in this one, as should Indiana. And they played pretty well up until, let's say, the fourth quarter of that Liberty game the other night. I mean, Indiana led at halftime. They were in it most of the third, and then Liberty pulled away. So the Fever, as you mentioned, can play well without Caitlin Clark, but they are a little bit sporadic. I'll say that they've had a couple of games where she hasn't played, where the offense has gone south. But for that to happen, you have to trust the Las Vegas defense, and I'm not sure that I still do trust Las Vegas defensively. They had a nice game the other night against Atlanta where they pulled away second half by playing some defense. But to see that on a game-to-game basis out of the Aces, we just haven't. The prior two, they had given up 86 to Dallas and 102 to Golden State. So maybe I should be playing this over 164 and a half, considering the fact that we don't believe a lot in the Indiana defense either. I do think that Indiana, the way that they get second chance points is difficult for the Aces here. So, well, there we go. Why we can't read the chat. So I would think that there's a lean here from myself toward this full game getting over the total. Just don't have a lot of faith in either defense here. But the number kind of scares me. You're asking for an 83-82 game. Not impossible, but I'll still think about it.
I can't stop laughing at that. I'm sorry, Vino. I wasn't trying to
That's all right.
distract her. The chat is funny over here.
They don't miss anything.
Man, this game is pretty tough. People in the chat say revenge is the edge here. I get it. Who do I think is the better team right now? I mean, my problem here is I don't think Jackie Young is really healthy. Like, she's playing, but I still think she's really banged up, and I don't like that. I'd probably just pivot back to the same thing I did last time, and I'm trying to look for it. Her assists are juice now, minus 160, but Ari McDonald, I mean, every game without Caitlin Clark, she's getting there. She's going to distribute. Ace's defense hasn't been great. I think that would be my preferred bet in this game. I'd probably just line shop around, see what's the best number I can get. But that seems like the surest thing for me, at least in this game. All right. Last but not least, and I thought I had it already, so we'll just go. Oh, there we go. Storm and Sky. So this one, we've seen a lot of movement. Opened up -6 for Seattle, as high as 10, as high as 11, actually. So make sure you line shop depending on what you like. Total open 161.5 and is down as low as 154.5. Injuries definitely matter in this game for Seattle. There is nobody on the injury report. They were dirty last time though, Vino. They waited until about an hour before tip off and said Skylar Diggins is not going to play. But as of now, nobody on the injury report. For Chicago, Onyenwere, Atkins, both out. Angel Reese was not seen at shoot around today. She's listed as questionable. And then looks like Markeisha Davis is still questionable as well. So Sky could be very shorthanded here. I mean, already missing a guard, to help play make. Missing Angel Reese, we know how much or not missing yet, but could miss Angel Reese, and we know how much she means to this team. And the Storm should be pretty pissed off after losing their last game. Um, and I'm not surprised, honestly. Without Skylar, I mean, she means everything to this team. She's the heartbeat of the Storm. Um, I think it's a chance for them to have a huge bounce back. And this guy right now, I feel like they were playing so good for a stretch before the All Star break, and the coach was like on them, telling them we got to keep this going. You know, we're playing well. It's not a one time thing. We can do this every night. Blah 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 blah. Everybody's buying in. And then in that last game, I didn't like that. That's probably why Angel Reese doesn't want to play today, or is not gonna play, or it's looking like she's not playing. But he left her out there when she was tired and asking to come out. And I don't know. I just don't. I feel like the vibes are off over there in Chicago. So I think Storm beat down total. I don't really have an opinion. It's moved a lot. Both side and total have moved a lot. What do you think here, Vino?
Well, right before the break, we saw the Chicago Sky in that afternoon game, their final game before the break, without Angel Reese and without Ariel Atkins. They were on their home floor against Atlanta. They scored 49 points. Nobody even scored 10 points for that team, Chicago, in that game. It immediately makes me look toward under. Of course, the under is down to 155.5 as we currently speak. 161.5 was the opener. And it's hard to it shouldn't be hard, but it's hard to get to the under without knowing if Skylar Diggins is going to be on the floor or not. Because if she is on the floor, Skee, it could be a big offensive night for them. However, we talked the other day about how Erica Wheeler and the whole team seems to just be focusing on defense. That cash the other night against Dallas, a high-scoring team. They played great defense again, even without Skylar Diggins, until the second half, and they couldn't score. So to me, it looks a lot like an under in this game. Maybe Skylar sits out because Angel Reese could be out, but we won't know that till later. 155.5 that's a lot of mountain to climb here because Seattle could win this game with 70 points. And if they win it with 70 points, there's no way this is getting close to going over. So for me, I think the best way to look at this is under 155.5. Like I say, the Chicago Sky only scored 49, and they look lost in that day game without Ariel Atkins and without Angel Reese. Both, Angel's become really the facilitator of that team. And the guards aren't that good on that squad. I mean, Courtney Vandersloot's been gone forever, but they needed to find a playmaker at that time. They really hadn't. That's why they turned the ball over to Angel Reese. Without her, I'm not so sure they get to, 60. Maybe we want to look at Chicago team total under the way Seattle's been playing or talking about playing defense.
Yeah, their team total tonight, I believe, is 72.5. Seattle has their last game they gave up 87 to Dallas, but before that, going into the break, 58 to Golden State, 74 for Washington, 65 for Connecticut. I mean, it is a very low total for Chicago. I mean, I could see it still staying under because the Storm defense is good, and if they're focused on that, I do expect Chicago's offense to struggle. But Chicago defense has been terrible too, and the defense is not getting better with Angel Reese off the court. They gave up 91, then 86, and 91 before that. Storm team total over or Sky team total under. I mean, I guess a lot of it does depend on if Skylar Diggins plays for the Storm, but I'm not betting Sky to score points tonight. I'll tell you that. That's what I'm not doing. UCapper says Storm's pace has been so slow recently. I agree. They do like to play a little bit slower. They play slow, and they still let Dallas score 87 last game. That was pathetic. But that's again without Skylar, and they kind of just gave up. I think we get a really good performance and effort from Seattle tonight. UCapper says one of the best parts of the show is trying to get Skee to break on screen. Y'all doing a good job today. Definitely doing a good job today. They should have told Vino. Okay, there we go. I thought it, and I didn't even see this comment. They said, "Okay, fine, Vino, rip your shirt off for Hulk Hogan."
I did just see that before we came on, and then somebody mentioned it in the chat. Yeah, it's not a great week to be a celebrity, I guess, because there's been a few that have passed away this week.
Yep. Uh, I mean, I don't have much to say, but it's not good when people. I mean, it's not good it's not good to see stuff like that. Is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If I can find this banner, we can move along. Best bets, and actually, I guess I did a little bit too fast there. We're supposed to throw this up there, Vino.
Oh, there we go.
What they call it, a power duo special. So you can get both of our WNBA seasons at a discounted rate. Um, and you can get it comes out to, I think it says $3 a day there. It's pretty much what the deal is. I have started the second half of the season 3-1. I lost yesterday, but looking to bounce back pretty big today. And it's a good deal to get both Rob Veno and myself for the rest of the season. Um, Vino, I'll ask you if there's anything else that you would like to promote. And if you have a best bet for the show, feel free to share. If not, all good.
Promotion wise, Skee, the only thing I'll add to it is one more time, the as July dwindles down here, you'd want to get in quick on this month of August, all access pass, get the rest of July free over at wagertalk.com. I'm going to include a lot of football, which is coming up as training camps have opened in the NFL, and college is ready to get underway in about 30 days here. Best bets is what I'm going to focus on here. And I'm going to go back to the first game because I don't think either defense is going to stop either offense here. So I played over 82 first half, LA and Connecticut. And again, I would not talk anybody off the full game here because Los Angeles full games have just been going over. And Connecticut's trended toward being high scoring too. The offense is scoring some points, which helps when the defense is as bad as they are to get us to over. So for me, it's going to be first half, LA, Connecticut over. I'm looking now, Skee, to get the current number, and it shows 82.5 now. So I'll leave it at that. LA, Connecticut over 82.5 first half.
All right, good stuff. Like I said, I talked it out on the show. I didn't take it yet, but it'll be back to the well with Airy again at the 4.5 assists. It is juice, but it's hit every game except the first game she played without Caitlin Clark, and Ace's defense not great. So that's what I'm looking at here today. Do have a best bet up and available for tonight, but I will tell you, line has moved quite a bit. But if you're interested in knowing why I like it, there's a 12-0 league-wide system, 6-0 league-wide system as far as the database goes. So, Vino, it's been great once again doing a show with you. Always enjoy breaking the games down. Helps help my process, helps make some decisions for everybody. Chat, you guys really had me laughing today, for real. Some good jokesters in the chat, I'll say. And some good cappers as well. Y'all definitely help us and help make the show what it is. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody else watching on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Shorts, Kick, Spotify, Apple, wherever you may be watching or listening. We appreciate it. We'll be back again tomorrow for another 3 games. And best of luck. We'll catch you then.